Mahalo nui, Pete. All right, you ready for a success story? This one is from the University of Hawaii Community College's Good Jobs Hawaii program, and it's sponsored by the City and County of Honolulu.
Good Jobs Hawaii is a partnership among the University of Hawaii Community Colleges, industry partners, and organizations that help prepare local residents for the workforce by providing training and education at no cost.
Wow.
So that they're qualified for those jobs.
You know, I recently got a chance to visit Hui Huliau Hou in Anae to see how they're addressing workforce gaps with culturally relevant training. Watch. Mike, thank you so much for having us out here, man. I really appreciate it. Can you kind of give us an overview of what Hui Huliau Hou is and how you guys are addressing that workforce gap?
So Hui Huliau Hou is a nonprofit. Our benefactor is Hui Huliau, a Native Hawaiian organization, DoD contractor. We're trying to address the workforce gap in military construction projects, especially when it comes to technical skills. Every one of these military buildings that's coming up over the next 5 years, they all have a massive amount of electronics in them. And traditionally, there's been a shortage of folks in Hawaii that know how to do these things. So we are attempting to fix that problem by providing completely free education and certifying folks as electronics technicians, a lot of engineering involved and things of that nature.
And I understand the electronic side of it and the tech side of it, but the backdrop that we have behind us is an imu, lo'i, we got some chickens back there, and aquaponics. How does that integrate into what you guys are trying to do with the military contracting?
Sure, so our shared mission between Hui Huliau and Hui Huliau Hou is to preserve Hawaiian language and culture while also preparing young people for a job in the 21st century workplace. So it's important to us and it's important to our benefactors that as we're learning this, they don't forget this. Because taking care of the land while also coming up with innovative ways to be sustainable is the whole purpose of our center.
I'm over here at Chris Black. How you, brother?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Mike, thank you so much for joining us on the show. And I just wanted to ask you, what do you do here? And if you can share your why.
So I'm technically a teaching assistant, but one of the things I bring to the program is really some of the soft skills, just really empowering these young people and really kind of getting them to understand their options. In the technology space, there are just a boatload of opportunities for these young folks should they seek them out. But always keep your foot on the gas and be coming forward for what you want.
All right, I get to spend some time with Noelani Wilson over here and Andrea Gagnon. Actually, Noelani is a graduate from cohort number 1. They're on number 3 now. And I understand that you were actually intending to go off-site, go to the continent to get educated, but you decided to stay here. How did you learn about the program?
So I went to one of our Ohana nights at Nanakuli High School, and Mike came down with Andrea and presented the entire program. I originally signed up so that I could use the skills I learned to get into HVAC and move to Colorado, but I ended up midway through the program realizing I could stay here and still live a fulfilling life.
I love that. Look, we're stopping the brain drain gang right here with this program. So how was your experience being a part of cohort 1?
It was great. We were the guinea pigs, so there was a lot of trial and error, but it was a lot of fun and definitely something I never thought I would get to experience.
And then you already got placed into a job. We'll talk to Andrea, but so what are you doing for Andrea and her company now?
Right now I'm just an intern. I'm pretty new, so right now I'm doing scheduling, and I took a Bixby RCDD class, which is going to help me with telecommunication construction and help me be a better project manager.
Wow, look at that. It's awesome. And Nanakuli High School graduate. This is amazing. Now, Andrea, how important is this program for businesses like you or employers like you?
It's essential, especially in today's GovCon market. You know, finding good workforce is one of the hardest things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. Having a program where we not only get to help, you know, the organization by creating these graduates and teaching this program, but placing them in organizations that bring the students in afterwards so that they continue to learn and grow. Otherwise, we're bringing in employment from the mainland to fulfill some of these contract needs. So being able to do that in-house is just vital.
I love that. And what makes this program different from, like, say, any other program?
The involvement, the mentorship, bringing in all these industry partners to work with the students throughout the program, teaching things like resume writing and email writing and going through multiple mock interviews to teach them how to go through a job interview. And I think that really is what makes it vital. It's the mentorship, not only during the program, but after they graduate.
This is such an amazing opportunity. How do we get this this program into other communities?
What we really need help with is outreach to hiring partners. We need mentors and teachers, people who have been in this business, they know the ins and the outs, and as they're teaching this curriculum that we have, they can interject in that curriculum with contextual information, why this is relevant to them.
Absolutely, and you also need some funding, right?
We do, so we are looking for private donations, we're looking for other nonprofits to partner with us. This is not just education, this is wraparound services for everybody. So there's a lot of things that we need to address to remove barriers to learning this information, whether it's partners that provide stipends to our students that help them get by while they're going through this program, even things like getting them laptops or iPads, something that they can study, hotspots if they don't have internet at home. These are all parts of what we do here. And so we need all the help we can get. It really does take a village.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We appreciate it. And thank you for starting this program in this very beautiful community of Waianae.
I loved seeing that. You know, Good Jobs Hawaii also provides wraparound services such as supplies, equipment, travel, and other resources to support those who are enrolled in workforce trainings. Of course, for more information, you can always visit goodjobshawaii.org.
You know, I just wanted to say that these different schools have been kind of contacting them to try and get the program into their schools, but he is so adamant about staying in that community, in the Waianae community.
That community needs it.
Yes.
And, you know, we have such smart youth.
Yes.
And they're just not given a chance. So I'm so glad. Please stay there.
Well, actually,
Waianae, Nanakuli, that right there. That's your great feeder schools right there.
And they're actually talking about maybe branching out to other communities with, you know, Kanaka that can kind of bridge that gap between the high tech of the STEM jobs and the Aina-based learning.
So
it's so
possibly
awesome.
like duplicating it,
Yeah.
duplicating the program in another community to serve that community's youth. Mai ka'i.
Oh, right on, Mike, and Siobhan and all the teams there at Hui Huliau Hou. All right, a quick break, but before we do, today is Quirky Country Music Song Titles Day.
Wow.